5CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Suns planning to hire Frank Vogel as their new head coach, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Vogel offered the job this morning. The side's expected to complete terms on a long-term deal. This will be the fourth head coaching job for Vogel after previous stops with the Pacers, Magic, and Lakers, who he won an NBA title with in 2020. A promise from Miami's Jimmy Butler following the loss to Denver, Game 1 NBA Finals. Butler vowed to attack the basket more, believes he'll respond to the initial setback and set a better tone in Game 2. ESPN NBA play-by-play announcer Mike Breen.
Butler is the type that he reads what the defense is giving him. So if you're throwing double teams at him, he's not going to force the issue offensively. But there's no question he has to be more aggressive looking for a shot. For them to be such a talented team like Denver, he's got to be aggressive, and that's what you would expect from him in Game 2.
Mike Green on Fitz and Harry. Game 2 Sunday, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern on ABC. Bills pass rusher Von Miller told Channel 9 News in Denver he expects to return from an ACL injury against the Jets in the season opener September 11th on Monday Night Football.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It has just been an exhausting week here in the Ingles studio.
And it's about to get worse.
Yeah, we'll give you a chance. Hang on.
Of course you're going to give me a chance. Name's on the door. Didn't matter if you gave it to me or not. I was going to take it.
We are heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Take the Sportsocracy with you everywhere you go. And see us live on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. We'll be doing some more, football stuff today. We're going to be doing another Mount Rushmore. I think yesterday was a rousing success. We had a lot of chat about the NFC South Mount Rushmores, which I still disagree with you guys. Tom Brady does not belong on the Bucs Mount Rushmore.
Well, here's the thing. Facts don't care about your feelings, and the fact is you are wrong.
Can't wait to see what we fight about today. We're going to do AFC East teams.
We Evan Doyle said, who's shocked we're doing AFC East today? Well, we were going to have Asheville Police Chief David Zack today, but something came up, so that's not going to be possible. Hope to have him next Friday.
Something came up.
He has a gun. You should really not.
You should really not go there.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Last night, just saying. Last night was the APD awards banquet, and Jeremy, show off your nice little gift that you got.
It was fantastic. They got me a mug emblazoned with the City of Asheville Police logo. And my face. I got my face on a mug. Me and News Dome Mark Starling both.
For our radio listeners who can't see right now on the YouTube, it's like a bat mug. You've seen these for your favorite baseball teams. Actually, I have one. I have one right over here with my Boston Red Sox bat mug that was given to me by Binky Engel, a very loyal listener to the Sportsocracy. But it looks like a baseball bat, and it's got the wood carving of Flostradamus's, I guess we'll say, bust on it. It's a picture of him sitting at our first studio over in Woodfin. But it's very cool.
Oh, it's super cool. And I had no clue that they were going to do that. They brought us back up on stage. And first of all, the men and women of the Asheville Police Department are fantastic people. They're so welcoming. And I'm going to be really honest with you. So last night they're giving out awards for and accreditations and all the things for the unbelievable events of the year, and I'm having to read them with really no. I mean, I got the script the day before, but it was very long, so I didn't read every page of it. And you're reading
which is great news. If anybody ever hands you a script, just go, I don't need to read all of this. This is fine.
well, here's the thing.
It was too TLDR. Are you going to get up in front of the microphone? Look, I was supposed to say some stuff. Too long, didn't read.
Okay, it's not like they were expecting me to memorize it. I knew I was going to have a copy of it in front of me. I am like Ron Burgundy. I will read whatever is on the script, which Newsdale Mark Sterling found out the hard way last night.
Yep.
He changed the name, and I read the name was in the script. And then we looked around and went, that's not who that guy is. How am I supposed to know that? But it was a great night. Thank you to all the wonderful men and women of the Asheville Police Department for being so welcoming to the News Gnome and myself. It's a great time. They also told me I had to come back next year. That's always a good sign.
That is a very good sign. So anyway, yeah, so we were hoping to have the Chief in with us today, but something came up. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, and yes, all right, it's time. It's time to talk about last night's Game 1 of the NBA Finals, where we are now just 3 games away from...
You saying you want a piece of me?
You saying you want a piece of me? You got it! Let's go! 3 games away from the coronation of the 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not going to take more than 5 games to do this.
No. I'll be surprised if it takes more than 4.
I won't. I think Miami, I stick by what I said. I think Miami will get one in Miami. They'll show a little fight. But I reference what I said yesterday in Green on Green. That's bangers. Thank you for that. Hope you listen to me, because they all won. Every bit of it. Because Denver is the best team in the NBA, and it's not even kind of close. But Miami went on an 11-0 run. I don't care if they went on a 30-0 run. That made it respectable.
I mean, you're grasping at straws. Look, here's the thing that I took away from last night's game.
Bam Adebayo's not nearly as good as you think he is.
Well,
that was one of my takeaways.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like he's a good player. It's just very
not away
tough.
From the basket. He's not.
No, he's not. It's a very tough matchup, is what I was going to say for him. But here's the thing: when Nikola Jokic can take 3 shots, 3 in one half of basketball,
2, 3,
and you can have a 20-point lead at halftime or 19-point lead, whatever it was. Yikes!
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because what Nikola Jokic showed last night is that he doesn't have to be the scorer on this team. And I know you know this, and I know people who watch Denver basketball know this. But I feel like there should be more people watching these NBA Finals than would normally watch the Denver Nuggets. I don't think that's a stretch to take. And the rest of the NBA watching community is going, oh, okay. So he is special. But he's special in a very special way. I mean, how many times do you see an impact player like that? He could score 14 points in a game and still be the most valuable player.
One of my favorite moments of last night was when the Bam Bam thing had gone less than ideally, and Eric Spoelstra had what can only be described as a revolutionary idea. Let's put Hornets legend Cody Zeller on Nikola Jokic. And I swear to you, I have never seen a human on an NBA court go, really? That's who you're putting on me? And he went full Andy Reid and just went all-star breakfast.
Twiddling the fingers and everything.
Let's go.
It's just clear who the better team is in this NBA Finals, and the Game 1 should have proved it to you. And
I mean, this is...
Miami fans, you'll cling on to hope. You'll cling on to hope that, with a couple more days rest, maybe on Sunday it'll be better. It won't be.
It won't be. No. Let me go ahead and tell you how this series goes. And I've heard all of the thoughts and all of the, this could change in game 2. Let me tell you what's not going to change in game 2. Denver's not going to hit 8 threes again and shoot 29% from 3. This is a really efficient three-point shooting team. You managed to keep them from doing that, which is why you didn't get just absolutely annihilated. It's been a good run for Miami. What is happening on the floor right now in Denver is what I've been trying to tell you is coming for 3 years. I was early because Jamal Murray got hurt, and I undervalued, A, how good he is, B, how important he is. I didn't give that enough credence because I saw the transformation in Jokic, and I genuinely thought he was good enough to win the series by himself. And Porter and just the whole series of threes would be good enough. No, he needs the Robin to the Batman. I said you can't put Jimmy Butler on Jamal Murray. They did that a little last night. Ended horribly. That's all Jamal Murray did was go, find me Max Strus. Who is he on? Because that guy is about to go full team gets mine. So, I think this series is aggressively over. I was at the Village Porch last night, 51 North Merriman Avenue, our official watch spot for all things sports. And there was a whole group around the bar watching the game, and they're like, well, Miami came back to make it a game. Yeah, you're watching a whole different game than I am. I'm watching a Denver team that went, well, this is over. And maybe took their foot off the gas. And the minute they figured it out, they went, oh, no. We still got 2 more gears to go. It's just adorable that you think this is going to work, but bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And I would say if this were by some chance to become a competitive series, which we don't expect it to be, but should it happen and say Miami gets a couple games in the series, I think it cements Eric Spoelstra as the, no doubt, number 1 head coach in the NBA.
I will go one step further and say if he wins a game, you find a way to beat this team one time.
Just once? Okay.
Because I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't physically see, this is, the more I thought about this series, because I'll be honest with you, Miami was the team I was afraid of. Then I started watching Bam Adebayo playing away from the basket, and I realized what exactly happened last night was what was going to happen. Bam's going to look like he's on roller skates when you get him more than 5 feet away from the basket. Denver figured that out quick. So now I've completely neutralized him. This thought that, and I've heard this quote from Jimmy Butler of, we got to attack the basket more. With who exactly? I mean, you want to go in there against Nikola Jokic? Really? And Aaron Gordon, and even to a lesser extent, Michael Porter Jr.
And Aaron Gordon. They don't even know what to do with Aaron Gordon.
That's what I told you.
Right.
That's the part of this series that nobody's talking about. He dominated them last night. Chauncey Major, a YouTube comment yesterday, was like, Aaron who?
Yeah.
Give it a minute. You'll figure it out real quick.
That dude that scored 12 in the first quarter?
Yeah, that dude that you have absolutely no solution for, offensively or defensively. Oh, and by the way, he's the 4th scorer. This is a great team. I'm not sure that this isn't the start of a dynasty. Because you got to understand, this whole team's locked up for a long time.
Yep.
I mean, there's some moving pieces. But what I noticed last night, every player that plays for Miami has a flaw, like a fatal flaw. And so it gets really hard to put different combinations on the floor because you can't have, and I'll just give you the example of what I saw off the jump last night. Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry. You got 2 guards that they can't guard anybody. So Denver, sure, go down, Kyle, go down and hit your threes. We don't really care because we're going to come down and score on you instantaneously. That's what they did, time after time after time after time. And now, Rob Johnson asked for this. Let me tune up the old vocal cords here.
Oh, dear.
2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. Let's go. Let's go. It's here. So bring it in, man. Soak it in, man.
The bloodletting has already begun. It was a dominating win in game 1 of the the 7-game series.
If this series goes 7, I'll eat my hat.
I mean, it's a potential. It's always a potential.
Yeah, Denver's flight to Miami could get the wings could fall off before it gets off the ground.
Don't say that.
I didn't, not while it was in the air.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
It won't get off the ground now. Well, I guess we got to give Miami these two in Miami. No, not worried about it.
Dang, Flostradamus went dark on that one.
Again, on the ground. Plane can't get off the ground.
Game 2 is coming up on Sunday. Game 3 on Wednesday. Do we really need this many days in between the games?
Well, no, we don't.
No, we don't.
Can we just go 4 days in a row? We'll just go ahead and end this.
I mean, I'd be all for it.
I would too, but the NBA's like, oh no, we got to have our corner of the calendar. Well, about that. Yeah, about that. Not exactly giving us a riveting product here, because we can only talk about how efficient this Denver offense is, how much bigger they are for so long.
Yeah. My question is, are they a draw?
Denver?
So you said...
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to go further down this rabbit hole, because we've joked in the studio here for the last, couple of weeks, I guess, this dominating run through the playoffs for the Denver Nuggets of... This could be a dynasty. This could be the next team that rolls off, 2 and 3 years, 3 and 4 years, something like that. God forbid, 3 straight. That's what I'm saying.
I like the way that sounds.
But how good is that for the NBA product is my question. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
With the Autio app riding shotgun, every road trip.
Companion. It's educational, entertaining, funny. It makes the drive come to life.
The Autio app automatically plays you stories about the natural wonders, local legends, and fascinating histories outside your car window, with over 10,000 unique stories from coast to coast.
I've learned more about my hometown from the Autio app than I did growing up here.
Autio, the perfect companion for your next road trip. Learn more at autio.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one, "I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better." Unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
What's up? It's a Target trend alert. New swim has just arrived, and it's sunny weather approved.
If you're into bikinis or one pieces, high waists or cutouts, they're the perfect combo of trendy, flattering, and affordable.
That's right. And there are so many cool styles with gorgeous details. These suits have macrame, crochet, wood beads, pretty shells, and more. Totally a Lux for Less vibe.
Yes, so dive in and shop this Target trend without the spend.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh?
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. The Denver Nuggets. Game 1 went pretty much how we expected it was going to be. I think the closest it was like 6 points with like 9 minutes to go in the first quarter, and then it got kind of out of hand after that.
In a hurry.
In a hurry. Denver just looks to be the dominant team, the team to beat in the NBA when they're fully healthy. Remember, they went to the finals. They went to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble in 2020, and then they had to deal with the Jamal Murray injuries and all of that, and Michael Porter's injuries, right? And so now they're back to full strength, and it doesn't look like there's a team in the NBA that can beat them. Now, some will say, but they've beat what? An 8 seed, a 7 seed, a 4 seed, and an 8 seed or something. It's not, they haven't played top seeds. And so some people are trying to make that out to be a thing. Well, I mean, I don't feel like this is the Philadelphia Eagles' path to a title.
You've beaten LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, now Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo.
Right.
And none of them look like they belonged on the floor with you, really, for more than 6 to 8 minutes at a time.
Agreed.
Now, the question you asked before the break is this going to rate? And I will say this. I keep hearing this comparison to San Antonio, because San Antonio was NBA ratings nightmare.
Yeah.
If you ever tell me that the NBA's rigged, I need you to understand that the 3 times they've ever had that this team's ever had a shot at the number 1 pick, they've hit it. And even with the most technically sound basketball team you'll ever see, they still hit all-time marks for the worst-rated finals every time they were in it. So if they're doing it, they're doing a terrible job of it. I think there's something bigger at play here. The only comparison to me between San Antonio and Denver is that they both play in medium to small markets. Okay. Denver is a bigger market than San Antonio, but it's also more of a niche market because it's not as populous. It's very large, but it's not as populated. If this doesn't rate, and I'm not probably this year withstanding, if this doesn't rate, I have officially gotten to the point where I don't ever want you to tell me that it's the product that you don't like. The Nuggets are fun to watch, and that's not me being biased as a fan. I was a coach. I was a player. I love watching everything Denver does, and I hated San Antonio. The big fundamental and, look, they just do all that. I don't care. I want to see scoring.
Yeah.
I want to see stars. Oh, let's go. I want guys whose jerseys I could want if I wore jerseys, but I don't. And no grown man should wear basketball jerseys ever.
Agreed.
It's growth. We're getting somewhere.
It's basketball jerseys.
If this doesn't rate over time, because if you remember, Golden State didn't rate particularly well in the beginning because that was a smaller West Coast market. Now that's the most valuable franchise in the league. Am I saying Denver's going to do that? No, because I don't think they have a Steph Curry marketability-wise. Do I think you have a Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins and all those? Yeah, you just don't have the – I don't think Jamal Murray's the face that's going to sell like that. And Nikola Jokic doesn't want to be that. He's too – that is another similarity between this Denver team and San Antonio is that you have stars that are so meek, they're never going to be a LeBron James or a Kevin Durant because they're not that personality. So that could be a problem.
And that's where my mind's at of what drives the NBA viewership. And to me, it's stars. To me, it's
which is the problem I've said the NBA has for a long time. Because, and this is not going to be popular to some people, but you can take your wokeness elsewhere. Are you terrified? Are you terrified of what I'm going to say?
I am.
7 of the 10 best players in the NBA are not American. At the end of the day, ratings in America, we've proven this. You give us foreign-born stars, they don't sell as well here. They don't. That's not an opinion. That's not a spicy take. It's a fact, and I can give you 10 examples of it. Look at how many of the next wave of stars are foreign-born guys. Giannis Antetokounmpo. And that's the one that I'm curious of. Does Denver are they equal in terms of rateability to Milwaukee, or do they end up higher than that? Because I would think they would end up higher than that. Milwaukee is not a fun brand of basketball to watch to me.
I disagree.
You have a star that can't shoot.
I mean,
your star player can't shoot.
And see, me personally as a fan watching the game, I don't care about that. If you have a player that can do out of this world kind of things, then I don't care if you got that one hole in your game.
So when you say out of this world things, who does that more often, Nikola Jokic or Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Well,
it's Jokic, and it's not close.
Well, here's the thing: the out of this world things that Nikola Jokic does are
he has an old man at the gym.
You take for granted the greatness of his game. Like the out of this world things that I see Nikola Jokic do are more in the passing game. And nobody really cares about that. I mean, basketball heads do. You see the beauty, the artistry that is in finding the guy who's not open and making him open and all that kind of stuff.
And see, that's where I think the San Antonio thing dies, because that's what San Antonio did too. But theirs was to backdoor cuts to Sean Elliott. I understand why you don't want to watch that. With the Nuggets, that winds up in a 27-foot three-pointer from Jamal Murray or a dunk from Aaron Gordon. I don't know really what more you want. So where I'm headed with this is if the Denver thing doesn't work over time, like I said, not necessarily in this series. I don't know that this series will rate well because of how non-competitive it is. But over time, if this does turn into the next NBA dynasty, you should see it starting to tick up. And I'm going to say something else that this is another fact. Denver has one of the best branding packs in the league. The Golden State Warriors have the same thing. So you can talk about the Splash Brothers and all that. And I'm trying to say this in a non-marketing way. To have a brand that is cool will do a lot to help you. Denver has that because they have the retros, they have the currents. No team in the NBA has more former jerseys than the Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
Nobody has more over the top and different. And I went on Fanatics earlier today. Their T-shirt page is 11 pages longer than the Milwaukee Bucks. And you may say, oh, that doesn't mean anything. It's all about the product. No, it's not. Not in the age we live in now. If you have merchandise that is cool, it is going to help you. Do not think for a second that the rebranding of the bland Golden State Warriors to the Town, is it weird to you when that happened? Oh, you get Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, all of a sudden we have to rebrand everything. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Because you want merchandise that is cool. I think Denver has that. So I think they're set up very, very well to become a brand in the short term, the same way that Golden State did. If they don't, the NBA has a legitimate problem.
Bring me more miners with a pickaxe. That's what I need.
Oh, the 70s logo?
I need that 70s logo.
It's pretty phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty phenomenal.
I like it way better than their current logo. But
I think the current branding package is fantastic. And trust me, it's not ironic that the color scheme of the Nuggets and the color scheme of this show, they're the same.
Similar.
Don't know if anybody's ever noticed that, but they're the same.
I don't know how well this sells.
I think it will sell well over time.
Hopefully so. Hopefully you're right. But I don't know. I mean, the NBA is already dealing with a ratings issue.
Well, I mean, the ratings issue comes from who is the next level of star. All right, right now and I'm looking at the ratings of the last, this is every finals, but I'm really zeroing in on the last 10, 15 years. There's a consistency. LeBron and Steph we're interested in. Dirk and Steph, or Dirk and LeBron, not so much. LeBron and Tim, not so much. And I don't see that next level of star. We thought it was going to be Zion and John Morant and all these other guys. Well, there's something seriously bad going on with John Morant. I don't know what it is. Did you hear Adam Silver last night?
Yeah.
I don't want to rain on the finals, but trust me, as soon as this is over, we got some stuff to talk about.
Right.
Because some things have been uncovered.
They have gathered some more information. They have made their decision, but they're not going to do anything until after the finals is over. So that means there's a giant hammer about to come down on
It's not going to be good. Pennywise in our YouTube comments said, I don't know what it is, but Denver's just not exciting to me. Jokic is a monster, though. And that's what I hear a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think the NBA is the hardest sport to find a certifiable star. And this kind of goes into the Mount Rushmore thing we've been doing with NFL teams. There's a difference between, I'll use the example we had yesterday. There's a difference between Michael Vick and Matt Ryan. Michael Vick was very marketable. He wasn't a very good player. He did some things that transformed the way quarterback was played. Matt Ryan did zero to transform the position of quarterback. Which one's more influential? Matt Ryan's an exponentially better player.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Vick sells better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty easy for me to see. In the NBA, I don't understand why Luka Doncic is top 5 in jersey sales and Nikola Jokic is not. I don't get that. Because they play the exact same game. One of them's just 6 inches taller.
And it's all about identity.
Jokic, so what's the difference, though? There's no difference between those two guys. None. Luka Doncic has just as bland of a personality as Nikola Jokic does. He's much less meek, but their game is similar. It's not aesthetically pleasing. Neither one is super athletic. They both have old man at the gym game. Why does Luka Doncic sell and Nikola Jokic doesn't? Don't tell me it's because they're in Dallas. Name me the other star in Dallas. I'll wait.
Right.
Dirk Nowitzki never finished in the top 8 of jersey sales his entire career. One of the greatest foreign-born players of all time. Mm-hmm. Never finished in the top 8 of jersey sales. Think about that. So I just, for me, I don't really, and Andrew Ayers has a great point, you need a star to sell your merchandise.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that now I'm looking around the NBA going, when LeBron goes away, Steph goes away. Steph's the same age I am. So he ain't got a whole lot of time left here to be a high-end dynamic player. And then you look at the guys that really sell. What's the next wave look like? If Nikola Jokic is not going to sell, I don't know who you have that will.
Right.
I mean, I think John Morant would. But I don't know what you're going to get out of him.
Right. Oh, well, I mean, there's Giannis.
He doesn't sell.
Really?
No. He sells some jerseys. He's in a small market. It's not particularly fun to watch. All right. I think you're maybe taking what I said too literally.
Okay.
Does he sell to the LeBron level? Is what I'm saying.
No.
Do you have anybody that's going to do that?
No, I don't. And I don't think you.
Even the one with this high end prospect that you've got coming, that's this 7'5" unicorn of a player, and he's going to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's going to sell?
No.
Does he have any shot of being better than Tim Duncan? Because I would say no.
No, probably not.
Well, Tim didn't sell.
Yeah.
Some of the lowest rated finals we ever had.
Mm-hmm. There was a 40% dip in viewership in the NBA during the San Antonio Spurs heyday with Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker and, international players. I mean, I never considered Tim Duncan to be an international player.
Well, he's from the Virgin Islands.
Because he's from the Virgin Islands, and we knew him in college and all of that. That, Manu and Tony, okay, I'll give you those. The NBA doesn't have that. And, I said this when, of course, it was many years have passed, but I said this when Jordan left, was you'll never have another one of these.
And then you had LeBron.
And then you got LeBron came along, and now we're at a point where LeBron's going to leave, and we might have to wait a few years before you find the next guy. But I don't know who that is. I wish I could.
There's not a ready-made one.
There's not one out there right now.
There's not a ready-made one.
No.
Do you know
the closest thing you have to it? The guy has only played 36 games in 4 years.
Do you know who the top 10 in jersey sales are right now?
No clue.
All right, so one should not be that hard to figure out. It's Steph Curry.
Okay,
that's a Curry's one.
That's surprising to me, actually.
Why?
That's really. I mean,
it's not surprising to me.
At his advanced age, I wouldn't think that he would be getting all the jersey sales.
Giannis is 2. John Morant is 3. Devin Booker, LaMelo Ball, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal. That's your top 10. If that's what you're trying to sell me as the next level of this league ain't going to exist in about 6 years. Because there's no star power there whatsoever.
Right.
There's no cool factor in that whatsoever, except for guys that are 34 or older. You have to be able to generate new stars. This is what I said. When the G League Ignite thing started happening, I said you are biting your nose to spite your face. Because, we want to be able to control this and we can coach them the NBA way. Nobody watches the G League. The next person that you say, that you meet that says, my favorite G League team is blank. I would throw one in here, but I couldn't name one off the top of my head. Now, how many people have a favorite college basketball team? Of course they do.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this draft coming up. You have 3 high-end players in the draft. Do you know anything about Victor Wembanyama other than what either I have told you or you have heard on higher-end national radio?
No.
Do you know anything about Scoot Henderson?
No.
No, because he played in the G League. You know what you do? You know who you do know something about?
Brandon Miller.
Because you watched him in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So you did all this. You killed college basketball because now it's at a point that we watch the tournament, nothing else. And what'd you get out of it? Oh, you killed your filler system, and now you don't have any stars. Your highest-end players are coming from the Euro leagues because you're breaking so many of these guys in the G League.
But how many of but how many of those elite of the elites were? I mean, because we're talking about the next LeBron James here. Well, he didn't go college. He didn't play college basketball.
No, but that was. And I get your point, but he's such a transcendent talent. We've had 5 of those in 75 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get many of those. I'm talking about the secondary guys. Somebody that would give me a reason to watch it. And you just go down the list. Bradley Beal's a top 10 jersey seller.
I think a lot of that has to do with the market that he's in, right? I mean, if you're going to be the top seller of jerseys in the DC market, then yeah, you're going to be in the top 10. LaMelo kind of surprises me.
It doesn't surprise me because I would argue he's the most marketable young guy in the NBA.
Ooh.
Are you going to argue John Morant or Zion Williamson?
No,
that dies on the vine quick.
I just hadn't thought about it. I hadn't really thought about it.
That's how.
I mean, it was Ja before the gun stuff. And actually, I don't know. I mean, to the young generation, that might make him a bigger star.
I don't agree with you on that.
I have no idea.
But I'm talking about from a brand standpoint. Do you see Nike doing a big push behind Ja Morant after what's happened?
No.
And what may unfold from what we don't even know yet? No, and you just don't have any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much a death sentence for your league. Because we've shown we care way more about the name on the back of the jersey than we do with the name on the front.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe me, just look at the ratings with LeBron James. It didn't matter if he was in Cleveland, Miami, or L.A. The number has been practically the same every time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the least watched teams in the league, a mid-tier team in Miami, and the premier franchise in the league with the L.A. Lakers. Numbers moved less than a full point over his entire career. That doesn't matter. We care about LeBron. We don't care about the name on the front of the jersey, and that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Coming up next, we'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Northeast winds continue tonight and a stray shower in the forecast. Our temperatures down into the mid-50s tonight. Most of the rain shower chances have pushed out of North Carolina over into Tennessee. Mostly sunny Saturday, high 85 degrees. Stray shower Sunday. High temps in the mid-70s. Will stay in the 80s early next week for Monday and Tuesday. Nighttime low temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Fellas, stop treating your groin like junk. Introducing the Gillette Intimate Pubic Hair Trimmer, a gentle and easy shave from America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. Respect your pubic region with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
DQ presents how to get the most from your next DQ treat run. Step 1, grab the new Oreo Brookie Blizzard. Step 2, dig in. That's it, because this triple-decker treat has brownie and cookie brookie pieces, plus Oreo pieces. Oh, that's a mouthful of DQ goodness in every red spoonful. Guess it's time for a treat run, because the Oreo Brookie Blizzard is here for a limited time, only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, and we've got the NBA Finals going on right now and the Stanley Cup Finals getting ready to take place. Yeah.
I mean, we did do a Twitter poll of what team should Jeremy pull for, like, what was it, a year ago?
Something like that.
My 2023 Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights.
I'd forgotten that was the choice.
That doesn't have the same cachet.
No,
I don't get to do two of those at a time.
No, you don't.
I got to pay off Denver, then we slide into the Jets, and the year of Jeremy is complete.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Florida Panthers in the best-of-7 series for the Stanley Cup, and there is some extra motivation on the table for the Vegas Golden Knights. Larry Flint's Hustler Club says that if the Vegas Golden Knights win the series and take home the Stanley Cup, then they will give each player, quote, platinum VIP membership access and free lap dances for life.
Knights in 4. Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, if you're trying
Did you say this was Larry Flint's club?
Yes.
He's dead,
it's the Hustler Club, yeah.
I'm trying to say this as nicely as I can.
Oh dear.
How do I say this delicately? I feel like the quality of that particular establishment might not be A+.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
Larry Flint?
Absolutely.
Larry
I will
Flint was the
guarantee
Tank
you that
Spencer
is-
of the 80s.
Just
This
saying.
is the gas station hot dogs of that industry.
I don't know. I've never been, but I got to imagine that the club probably has some pretty good talent.
And see, this is where Tank's naivety to all things risque shows, because there's one way that you can always gauge a club like this. What's the best item on your lunch buffet?
Okay.
If it's steak, probably not a bad club. Now, if it's an $8 buffet and it has steak on it, you should run, because that is how you get foodborne diseases.
Look, I feel like it's in Vegas. It is the flagship club for a pretty big brand in one of the largest industries in existence. I would probably say it's going to be very, very high step up from, what you might find down on the river somewhere.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew where you were headed.
Well,
with that.
I mean, it's the only one that I really have a base of knowledge to go, well, I mean, I'm sure there's got to be better ones than that.
And that, my friends, is why we asked Jeremy these questions. A list has come out that may get you to question some of your career choices. And this is a question that I never thought about this. And then I saw the numbers and I went, you got to be screwing with me. How much do you think an NBA mascot makes?
$100,000,
So
maybe.
the average salary is $60,000.
Okay.
However,
the average, I like that.
However, there are 5 that make 6 figures, and one of them just so happens to have an affiliation to the NBA Finals.
Oh, no doubt. Rocky the Mountain Lion is the best in the league.
So he's the highest paid.
As he should be.
I'll get to what he makes momentarily.
He's a worker.
Hugo the Hornet is 5.
Okay.
Makes $100,000.
Not bad.
Then you have Go the Gorilla from the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
It's $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm starting to go, okay, like I was this close to being a mouse at Chuck E. Cheese. So I have already shown that I have a willingness to put on this costume. I don't want to, but for the right amount of money, I will. Then we get to the top 3. Benny the Bull of the Chicago Bulls, $400,000. Harry the Hawk from the Hawks and Rocky the Mountain Lion make $600,000 and $625,000 respectively.
Wow.
For $600,000.
Harry the Hawk? Really?
That one
is number 2?
That kind of surprised me.
I mean, is it the same guy that's been doing it for 30 years and this is just like the retirement plan? Like he just kept getting bonuses? Like he had an original bonus written into the contract and then now it's ballooned up to $600,000?
For $600,000, you could put me in a bird costume and put me in the square outside of Madison Square Garden or Central Park or any really populous place with a sign that had I'm going for something with pluck here. Maybe a double entendre of some kind, and a stash of wiffle ball bats that children are allowed to beat me with. Get out of here. $625,000 to put on a lion costume.
It's a job that never stops, though. You're always on the road. You're always doing stuff. I mean, I get it. I mean, if you've ever followed one of these teams and you follow their PR department and all of the different things that they do,
I think
that's a job that never stops.
Slow Jordan just one comment of the day. He said for $600,000, I'd go work for the Hustler Club for Larry Flint and pay off that tab to the Vegas Golden Knights. That's slow clap. That is slow clap worthy.
Although I feel like platinum VIP access, that sounds like crimes to me.
Yeah,
so
Tank, I don't know where your head's with this. I'm not sure that I like it.
This is as far as I'm going with it. I'm just saying. We all know what happens.
We need a mascot for the show.
Oh.
What would the mascot for the show be?
What would the mascot of this show be?
I think there's
have
only
to be a bird. Would it?
It would almost have to be a bird. with
robot eyes.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah,
or like a remote control.
Something that looks like it was cut straight out of Robot Chicken,
or a Sasquatch. We could have a Sasquatch for a mascot. We already have that though. It's Brian Haynes. It's a large creature that we don't see very often,
and is way hairier than a normal person.
There you go.
There was a time in my life where I was like, you know what? I'm never going to be a superstar athlete. Maybe I could be a mascot. Then I found out, oh, wait.
Oh, you have to do athletic things?
They have to do athletic stuff, too.
Like Tank on a trampoline.
Like Benny the Bull. I don't know that I've ever seen Benny the Bull have to do acrobatic stuff. Like, I can do that. Just kind of go around and shake that little hoop thing, and
Tank, I mean this in the nicest way humanly possible. You barely make it walking through this studio. You put on a 50-pound costume, you'll be dead by nightfall.
Trying to walk up and down stairs in an arena around small children.
Oh, no doubt. The first set of steps you found, hospital. Instantaneously.
I hear no lies.
I've watched you trip over your own shoelaces when you're wearing shoes that don't have laces. They have no laces. And I've seen them trip over them.
Still trip. You're not wrong. That's good for them, though. Good for them. I didn't know you could make more than $500,000 being a mascot for an NBA team.
Well, you cannot make more than $500,000 being a mascot for the show. But you could make $9.99. We just got to figure out what costume you'd be wearing.
Actually, I don't care what it is. You bring your own costume, we'll make you the mascot. Who cares what the costume is?
And we'll take you live remotes.
You can have a costume left over from your sign flipping job outside the local tax place, and come on in.
Oh, this is making me want to bring out Natural Light Boy Hick Flair and just go full American flag overalls with my mullet and my American flag bandana, beers in both hands.
Touche for Adam Black. It's the reason you should be in the comments on YouTube.
Because that can't be that cannot be said.
Yep, subscribe to the channel right now. You too can see the hilarity that cannot be said on these here FCC airwaves. It is the Sportsocracy ESPN Asheville Jeremy's pick for the weekend. Game 2 of the NBA Finals coming up next.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Ready to do this.
Get ready. Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back.
This festival is insane to bring all these different types of music together.
Can you believe all the artists performing?
And this year, you'll be able to watch live on Hulu.
The biggest stars from all walks of music.
Be here as our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival lineup is revealed. Tuesday morning at 8 a.m.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
What's up? It's a Target trend alert. New swim has just arrived and it's sunny weather approved.
If you're into bikinis or one pieces, high waists or cutouts, they're the perfect combo of trendy, flattering, and affordable.
That's right. And there are so many cool styles with gorgeous details. These suits have macrame, crochet, wood beads, pretty shells, and more. Totally a luxe for less vibe.
Yeah, so dive in and shop this Target trend without the spend.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the unofficial start of summer 2023. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Coffee store closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the win.
One win down. 3 wins to go before we crown my 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Sunday night, game 2 in Denver. Denver's an 8.5-point favorite. Over-under has sunk down to 214.5. Let's really cut down what happened in game 1. Because I've heard, but Miami went on an 11-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Of course they did. The game was over. Everybody in Denver was already thinking about what they're going to have for dinner. Miami doesn't look like they belong on the floor with this Denver team. And they didn't for 45 minutes. Now, what happened in game 1 that translates to game 2? Miami only shot 41% from the field. I've heard that 1,000 times, and you're right. They will probably shoot better in all 3 games remaining in this series. I would also wager Denver's probably not going to have another game where they shoot 29% from 3, only hit 8 threes total, turn it over more than Miami, and only out-rebound them by 2. Those are called facts, and they're probably not going to happen again either. This series is not competitive, and this is not me being a Nugget fan. This is me being a gambler. I'm telling you, this is as easy as it gets. Every game of this series, take Denver, especially at home. I'm taking the Nuggets minus the 8.5. They win in a walk, and I'll say it goes very similarly to game 1 and goes under the 214.5. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, Green on Green is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Northeast winds continue tonight and a stray shower in the forecast. Our temperatures down into the mid-50s tonight. Most of the rain shower chances have pushed out of North Carolina over into Tennessee. Mostly sunny Saturday, high 85 degrees. Stray shower Sunday. High temps in the mid-70s. Will stay in the 80s early next week for Monday and Tuesday. Nighttime low temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
Protect your engine against sludge and wear with the synthetic oil change. O'Reilly Auto Parts has 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $35.95. Plus, get 2 times O-Rewards points. Our professional parts people can recommend the supplies you need, including a filter, funnel, shop towels, drain pan, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
I'm Israel Gutierrez. I'm hosting a new podcast called 4 Years of Heat. It takes you to Miami from 2010 to 2014. when LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade set the NBA ablaze.
You know, have an opportunity to team up with the best trio to ever play the game of basketball.
We'll take you inside those 4 monumental years with behind-the-scenes access and insight about one of the greatest teams ever assembled. 4 years of heat on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Another NBA head coaching vacancy is close to being filled. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting the Suns finalizing a deal to make Frank Vogel their next coach, an NBA-winning coach, championship-winning coach with the Lakers in 2020. ESPN senior NBA writer Andre Snellings.
They got a guy who's won the Western Conference and the NBA Finals relatively recently, and he can help build a defense to go with what should be a potent offense. Starring Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. So. I mean, it's a name. So that's the first thought is they got a brand name.
Andre Snellings on Fitz and Harry, also from Woj, Utah Jazz's G League team, the Salt Lake City Stars, hiring former Marquette coach Steve Wojciechowski as head coach. He's been eager to make the leap into pro coaching. Bills pass rusher Von Miller told Channel 9 News in Denver he expects to return from an ACL injury and play in the season opener September 11th against the Jets on Monday Night Football. The White Sox reinstated starter Mike Clevenger and infielder Elvis Andrus from the injured list. Clevenger, back from a wrist injury, will start tonight against Detroit. Andrus is returning from an oblique strain.
Coming up Monday, I know we've only talked about Aaron Rodgers this offseason, but I'll give you my top 5 underhyped players going into this season. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he
The original cast for the Terminator was not what we know it to be now. That, all right, so if you're a fan of the series or you've seen the original Terminator, so Kyle Reese, the guy that played like John Connor's dad back in the past, that was supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Terminator, the actual robot, was supposed to be O.J. Simpson until James Cameron went, oh, wait. Nope, not going to do that. Think about how different that franchise could have been had O.J. Simpson been the Terminator rather than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Killed
I
it.
don't know.
Sorry.
Anyhow, so today in the Mount Rushmores of the NFL's teams.
In case you haven't figured this out, Tank and I are steering more into our roles in this show.
100%.
Tank just, I don't know what broke in his brain about 3 months ago, but I'm a big fan of it.
Big fan.
I asked him, and he said, well, I turned 40. And I went, yeah, but that was more than 3 months ago.
It was.
Had a little delay onset, eh?
That's right. That's right. The AFC East, Mount Rushmores. We're going to start with the team that has ruled that division for 20 years.
But that time is coming to an end.
Yes. The New England Patriots.
New England is full on Andy Dufresne.
To me, this one's easy.
That was the last time New England dominated that division for 30 years.
All right, so we all know there's Bill and Brady. That's 1 and 2, vice versa. You can put one ahead of the other. We can have discussions about it. They're both going to be on the mountain. Nobody cares.
Who do you put one?
It's Brady.
I want to agree with you.
You should.
I don't. And I don't put either of the two of them one.
In the New England Patriots, Mount Rushmore, is it Robert Kraft?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He wasn't on mine.
And then Bill and
Mount
Brady
Rushmore.
are like a 2A and 2B. Bob Kraft is not on yours.
He wasn't on mine.
I am seriously
What did Robert Kraft do?
Hired Bill Belichick. End of message, repeat the line. That's what led to everything else.
Okay. One great hire makes everything, I guess. I mean, sure, look at the dynasty that happened, but I don't know. Maybe I have to be a New England Patriots fan to really care about Robert Kraft as the owner.
How many owners in the NFL are better as owners than Bob Kraft? I mean, I'll say this as a Jets fan. There ain't one. He's the gold standard. Every team in the NFL, every fan of a team that's not New England wishes they had an owner that was that good.
Yeah, but would he be the same if he didn't have Bill? If he didn't have the success, would he be more of a meddler? Would he be more of a Jerry Jones? I mean, he's not the carnival barker that Jerry Jones is, obviously.
I think he gets it. He gets his role. He sits up in the press box. He cuts checks. He's very charitable. Maybe he likes going to massage parlors and strip
I was
malls.
trying to not go there, but okay, you went there.
Why are you not trying to go there?
I don't know.
Can you write the man's Wikipedia without saying that?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Heir to the Kraft fortune, owner of the New England Patriots, spends way more time in former Kmart parking lots than you would want him to.
Was that the Orchid Day Spa? Was that the name of the place? Anyhow, I didn't have him on mine. I figured Bill and Brady was enough because those are the faces.
I would agree, but I'm really curious where you're going from there. Because for me, there's only one more name you can say that makes any sense.
Is it Gronk?
That's the one.
Here's another one for me.
I am with bated breath waiting to hear this.
Okay.
If you say Steve Grogan, I reserve the right to throw something at you.
You know, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick would not have won so many Super Bowls had it not been for one player who might be one of the greatest at his position in the history of time.
Oh, you're about to say something stupid.
It's Adam Vinatieri.
Oh, good Lord.
You tell me where I'm wrong.
I was mentally prepared for you to say something stupid, and then you said something exponentially stupider than what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going Richard Seymour because he's a George Bulldog, and you were going to go full homer.
No. Adam Vinatieri.
So, hold on. let me see if I can wrap my brain around what you're telling me here.
Yep.
You want to take one of the just the stalwart franchises in the NFL and put a kicker on their Mount Rushmore.
Damn right. Tom Brady owes
So the
him at
fact
least
that
3
they
Super Bowl
replaced him
trophies.
with Stephen Gostkowski and missed absolutely nothing means nothing to you.
No, it's just good luck. I mean, you know how to find a good kicker. That's organizational control right there.
I mean, I don't often give people credit for a comment that they've already made, but Bill Buttigieg, Tank, I hate the things you say, when you say them, and how you say them.
He's got that on copy on his desktop.
That's on his clipboard, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
And I love him for it. This is one of the few times that you're going to get a Jet fan and a Patriot fan to agree about something. This is one of those names on the door. I didn't have him on my list.
That's dumb.
Didn't even have him. Now, I'm going to be honest. My list didn't go real deep. Because I got to Bob Kraft, Bill, and Tom and went, okay, I got one spot left. And the only person that makes even a lick of sense is Rob Gronkowski.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's why I say John Hannah, I get it. That's a long time ago. And it wasn't really in the heyday. You had the greatest run any NFL team's ever had. Yeah, you're probably going to get the entire Mount Rushmore is in that 20 years.
Absolutely.
I also thought about having the fourth one be insert little tiny slot receiver here.
The
Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, Julian Edelman. Spin the wheel of destiny for which one it is
Amendola
today.
with a much smaller face. We could put the trio of them, put the trio of faces, but Danny's is much smaller than the other two.
I mean, I think we can universally agree that your Adam Vinatieri take notwithstanding.
Oh, of course, it was dumb, and I knew it was dumb when I wrote it down,
Okay.
but I wanted to do it just to have the argument.
Just to get blood to come out of my ear? Well, you succeeded. Did you consider any other name?
I mean, there
had
are
a
names
couple
that
more.
ran through my mind. I was always a huge fan of Teddy Bruschi.
He was on my list.
And so there was
Solely
him.
because the defenses were so good for so long,
right,
that I feel bad that there's not a defensive representative.
Ty Law.
There's just so many of them.
Ty Law was one that I thought about.
Yeah, I thought about him too, but he was there really not for the heyday. I mean, I think he only won one Super Bowl with them because he wound up with it. He took the money from the Jets, went to a Pro Bowl, and continued a long-standing tradition of New England Patriots where Bill gets everything out of them, the Jets pay them, and they turn to dust. There's a name you haven't said yet, though, that's I don't really understand.
Okay, what is it?
Vince Wilfork.
That's a good one. I didn't really.
He's the only one that was really there for
he's
the
out there.
entire duration.
Yeah, I mean, that is obviously.
And yeah, he ended in Houston, but nobody remembers that.
No.
It's like Emmitt Smith with the Arizona Cardinals. Did you remember that until I just said it? No.
Right.
That's the only other one I consider, but I can't. To me, New England's just, it's those four.
Mm-hmm. The New England Patriots history should have just started in the 2000s. I mean, I know that's a terrible way to put it for New England Patriots fans who've been there since the beginning. But
well, I mean,
but here's the
and
thing:
that's not really
you weren't
shade.
relevant. I mean, 1986, you went to a Super Bowl.
Got annihilated.
Can you name me a player off of that team? See, that's kind of where my mind goes.
I mean,
So,
I can,
okay,
but none of them that
congratulations.
belong in this conversation.
Right. The Super Bowl that they won was in 1994 when they went to the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers.
95.
95, 96.
That was with
somewhere in there.
Bledsoe and Bill Parcells.
Right. Drew Bledsoe. And was Curtis Martin on that team? Was he
Yes.
with the Patriots at that time?
He was the rookie of the year there. Before he took the money with the Jets, and he was one that actually worked out.
It was.
We'll be talking about that name later in this hour.
Yes, indeed, we will. But I don't know. I mean, it was a one-off kind of a franchise until Brady and Bill started winning Super Bowls thanks to the leg of Adam Vinatieri.
Is there anybody else in this discussion? Because there's one name left on my list that we hadn't said yet.
I don't think so.
Now, I'm not saying he should be put in it. I'm just saying he should be in the conversation.
Honorable mention.
Randy Moss. Nah. He wasn't there for long enough, but he did set the NFL. He set several NFL records while he was there.
Yeah. Again,
He was
your
integral.
time was so brief with that team.
He was integral to the team when he was there.
He was integral to the biggest letdown in sports history.
You had to get that in there, did you?
Well, of course he was. I mean, you can't look at the Tom Brady Randy Moss connection and go, "Oh, is this beautiful?" I mean, had it not been Eli Manning's 2 of his most perfect 4 passes in his entire career, then maybe you'd have won that Super Bowl and you'd have completed the undefeated season and all of that. But that is the biggest blip on his mark, right? I mean, in the dynasty, that's like the low point.
Well,
going 17-0 and then losing in the championship.
I don't know. It's also one of the biggest wins I've ever had.
Good for you.
I had the Giants in the money line.
Wow.
In that game.
Wow.
And I got called a hater by so many people, and I went, but what if I'm right? And I was.
Lawyer Malloy's name's been thrown out there. Willie McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis was another one. Rodney Harrison was mentioned. To me, you can't get into the top 4. But there is something I want to ask, just since we brought up Randy Moss right there. Eat and Sleep Football earlier in the YouTube chat said we should do a Mount Rushmore for each position once we're done with the divisions, which I think is a very, very good idea.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking about Randy Moss. Randy Moss is on the Mount Rushmore of receivers.
Yes.
And I don't think that's even debatable.
No.
Does he make it on for any team?
I mean, I would.
You want to say Minnesota?
I would say Minnesota.
He was only there 6 years.
I don't think that matters. I mean, are there enough influential players from Minnesota's history to put on there?
When we get to that, because I've done all of mine, or at least what I want to throw out there for us to debate back and forth.
Right.
I have Randy as he's the 4, but there's one that I could very easily see him getting bumped for.
Okay.
Wouldn't shock me in the least if he got bumped for another guy.
I would say Minnesota's the only one that
I tend to agree.
The Mount Rushmore for.
I mean, he was only with the Raiders for 2 years.
Right.
He was only with New England for 4 years. So you get this just great receiver, and he really doesn't. Who's he going to the Hall of Fame with?
Minnesota.
I disagree with you. I think it has to be New England. You didn't win squat with Minnesota, and you had probably the greatest receiver year of all time with New England. He probably does go in with Minnesota just because that ended so badly, but I don't know that he should.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, so we're going Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. That's your Mount Rushmore for the New England Patriots.
And for me, wasn't even that hard. Now, there is another team in this division, the Miami Dolphins, and I think this one's a lot harder.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
240 eastbound is slow between exit 3 and exit 4A. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between Brevard Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. Smoky Park Highway north and southbound approaching Sand Hill Road. Traffic is slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Brevard Road northbound again slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the North Carolina Arboretum. In Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyman Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Second half of the year looking busier than the first? Hire with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season on incredible specials you need for summer. Like 50 to 70% off designer suits for him, 75% off gold and silver chains, and 65% off luggage from Samsonite, Travel Pro, Delsey, and more. Plus, get your online order even faster with free curbside pickup or pickup in store at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. With My Plan, you pick only the perks you want and save on every one. So you get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. And today, get the amazing iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch with Select Trade-In and Unlimited Plus. Get iPhone 14 Pro with My Plan at your Verizon store today. It's your Verizon. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required. $200 Verizon e-gift card sent within 8 weeks with ported. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
If your pubic region was quote-unquote junk, you wouldn't need America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. But it's not. So show some respect with Gillette Intimate. For a gentle and easy shave, Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
I would say Larry Zonka would be the guy. But see, I'm only basing that. I mean, this was 1972. It was 10 years before I was even born.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
No, I didn't, and I didn't say that. What I'm saying is my only knowledge, really, or I guess firsthand knowledge, is what was handed down to me. And my dad was, obviously, as a high schooler in the early 1970s, was a big Miami Dolphins fan. And so he was a huge Larry Zonka fan. And so I grew up hearing stories about the sheer power that was Larry Zonka in those Dolphins years. So to me, he would be the guy. Bob Greasy, I get that would be a way that a lot of people would go. And I wouldn't argue either way.
My only problem is Greasy played a lot longer. I just don't know that he was ever as good. He had a ton of talent around him. So it almost gets into the, I hate to call it this, but it is my team, the Chad Pennington argument of, yes, you were here for a long time, so you have a lot of accolades and a lot of things that you were involved in. Were you ever the best player on that team? I would say no. Zonka was.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that would be my 4.
Larry Zonka.
I can't have Zach Thomas ahead of him. I would have had Bob Greasy ahead of him. Then you get into some guys that I just never saw, like Larry Little. He's on every Dolphins list when you search this out. And Nick Bonicotti's another one that's on every one of these lists when you search it out. I was also shocked at how many times I saw Cameron Wake's name, just throwing that out there. Not that he should be in the top 5, but that he was in the top 10. That, to me, feels like we have to throw a player of the last 15 years on this list or nobody's going to read it.
I don't know that you have that guy. I don't know that there is a greatest of all time from the Miami Dolphins since
in the last,
Zach Thomas.
Yeah, well, Jason Taylor. They're in the same.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. It's the same era.
There's not one since. Now, when we do this 3 or 4 years from now, that could be completely different. Because if Tua can stay healthy, there is a possibility you start talking about him. There's a possibility that Tyreek Hill throws up another outrageous couple of seasons. Jalen Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
He's younger, so you're going to get more years out of him than you get out of Tyreek. But for me, the 4th one was hard because I do feel like I'm almost throwing shade at Zach Thomas when I don't mean to. But I can't do it. I cannot put 2 guys off. When you had an era of this team that was so good, you get no players from that era, but I get 2 from probably the most irrelevant part of the franchise's history. That just doesn't sit well with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't leave off Jason Taylor.
No, you can't.
Notwithstanding his worst year as a pro was for the New York Jets. Man, the AFC East loves doing that.
No, the New York Jets love doing that.
You know, no, it goes many different ways. We love trading players between each other. Trust me, many Jets, Braxton Berrios, actively doing it right now.
But I was going to say, how many times? How many times is that
worked
flipped where the best player on your team came from another AFC East team? Curtis. But that's it, right?
Oh, no. Ty Law was good when he was there. But the AFC East, more than probably any other division, they absolutely love pilfering players from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, you remember them being great for one team. And, oh, yeah, remember they played that 1 year there, and it was bad.
There is a shout-out for Mercury Morris. Is a possible Dolphins Mount Rushmore.
And I get it. I understand why you're saying that, but is it not because he was just the loudest guy that was always the one popping champagne?
He was the marketable one.
Yeah.
He was the personality.
He was the Michael Vick of the 72 Dolphins. Hey, he was the one that you remember because it's more marketable.
I feel like the top of the Miami history is just it's not very crowded. I feel like you have a bunch of elite guys that deserve to be in the greatest of all time conversation. And then the rest of us is think about the Marino years. It was Marino.
And then
who?
Duper and Clayton.
Mark Duper?
For a year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years. Dan Marino's career trajectory is one of the more confounding things I've ever seen. Best 2 years of receivers he ever had were his first 2, and they literally got worse every single year he was in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And he was still incredible. There is a picture somewhere of me in a Dan Marino jersey, and I hope to God nobody that listens to the show ever finds it. I was little. Made bad decisions.
All right, so that is the Miami Dolphins Mount Rushmore. Shula, Marino, Taylor, and we're going Zonka as a representative of the undefeated team.
You have to. You just have to. I know you don't like it
I
because
don't.
you're even more than me. Well, it happened in the 70s. That was the heyday of the franchise.
Which basically tells you everything you need to know about the Miami Dolphins.
You're not wrong. At Sports Think ESPN. For once, AFC East fans that are not Jet fans can get angry at him.
It's time to get weird when we come back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Northeast winds continue tonight and a stray shower in the forecast. Our temperatures down into the mid-50s tonight. Most of the rain shower chances have pushed out of North Carolina over into Tennessee. Mostly sunny Saturday, high 85 degrees. Stray showers Sunday. High temps in the mid-70s. Will stay in the 80s early next week for Monday and Tuesday. Nighttime low temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Lane delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge is slow. 26 westbound west of Chimney Rock Road delays. 26 westbound then stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound delays between Bavard Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound is slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road, moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road, delays. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound. Near Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound, approaching Howard Gap Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue near Edgewood Road, delays both directions. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Off.
Off Clean Feel, so I can accessorize with studs and not with mosquitoes. I can wear my classic white crop and flag panel jeans and know that I'm covered with 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. Get your pre-party protection on with Off Clean Feel. SC Johnson.
Are you suffering from seasonal allergies? Because you're not alone. Experts say pollen season started earlier this year and will last longer, and that folks who've never had issues before are feeling miserable. I'm Martin Hoke, inventor of Navage, the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Over 3 million people use Navage to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs. Navage helps clear your sinuses quickly and naturally. But what about other people's experiences, like Miss Clement? Quote, I chose Navage because of my persistent allergies. Navage works. While using it, I cut back on allergy meds and occasional shots at my doctor's office. Unquote. That's one of over 120,000 reviews with a 4.6-star average written by people who use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Stop suffering and try Navage today at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
We are back in the Sportsocracy, and it's time to get weird. You know, when you go out for a leisurely day on the water, you don't ever, I mean, I don't feel like you ever plan to be attacked while you're out there. I mean, in the back of your mind, it's a possibility. Like, I mean, you go like deep sea fishing or something. Does it ever cross your mind that I could end up like Steve Irwin and just take a stingray to the chest and end up dead? Do you ever think about possibly, being eaten by a shark or something to that effect?
I don't do any of the things that could lead. It's really hard for a shark to eat me on my couch.
Right.
Like, I mean, they don't just knock on the door like, hey, rah, rah, rah.
I mean, you go swimming in the Everglades or something. You would obviously have the fear of, oh, God, there could be an alligator somewhere around me.
If I ever wound up in the Everglades, just, Lord, please take me now. It's not going to end well for me. I'm not a survivalist, and I am going to perish quickly.
Right, but the things that I mentioned are, known predators. That's something that would be in the back of your mind. If I'm going to swim, in a place called the Connecticut River in western Massachusetts, I don't feel like I would really fear for my life. I mean, I wouldn't expect any alligators to be in that river. There are no other known predators. There's no piranha or sharks or whatever. Well, a man goes swimming in the Connecticut River on Sunday evening when he found himself a victim of an attack, where he was attacked relentlessly multiple times by a beaver, which reminds me of my favorite Jeff Foxworthy joke of bit it off.
OFF, bit it off.
If you've ever had your nipple bitten off by a beaver, I think the man's the man's sensitive areas are all intact after this attack, but he did suffer severe injuries to his chest and arms from the beaver that chased him in the river 3 separate times, attacked him 3 separate times. They did capture the animal.
That's an angry beaver.
They had to have it tested. It did test positive for rabies, so the guy's got to go through all the treatments now. But helpfully, state wildlife biologists are now telling us that beaver bites are rare. And I feel like that's one to grow on.
We don't plan these things, but my story is also about a random animal attacking people.
Nice.
The words Chicago and attack are not weird together.
No.
Because that's a city where I'm pretty sure if you wait long enough, you'll actually see a rat mug a rat. But there have been a series of attacks on Whacker Drive. I'm not making that up.
Uh-huh.
Just ask Chuck Velasquez. He's a patent attorney that works in a high-rise off Whacker Drive. He was walking on a patio because it's got this high-rise has little outdoor sections where you can walk out.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking, just doing what he does, and he felt what he said felt like a 16-inch softball hit him in the head. Care to take a stab at what it was?
Bird.
It was a bird. What kind of bird?
Chicken.
Peregrine falcon,
Oh.
which apparently has had babies and is raising them on an exposed beam. Well, here's the thing about falcons. First of all, we have one outside of Radio Ranch here. I saw him get scared off by a vulture the other day. I still can't figure that out.
That was a turkey.
That was a turkey?
That was a turkey.
I'm still just confounded by that. Like, I want to tell the falcon, do you feel like a falcon? Do you ever just lay around and go, am I a falcon? You can rip that thing to shreds, right? Okay, just as long as you knew. Well, there have now been at least 4 other people that have been attacked by this bird because these patios are so close and they're so protective of their babies
right.
that if you get anywhere near it, you're going to see a falcon going, ah! Do you know how fast those things go?
Very fast.
How fast?
80 miles an hour.
Try 200.
200 miles an hour.
They can reach speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour when diving.
I was going to say, if they're in a free fall from way high up.
Well, that's where they're coming from.
Definitely.
So there's really no avoiding.
Well, not on the patio.
There's really no avoiding this silent killer in the sky that I've been telling you all about, and you call me a conspiracy theorist.
Say if these people were so close to the nest, he ain't hitting 200 miles an hour before he hits them. Or she, whatever. I guess he's don't guard nests. I don't know.
Upwards of 8 people a year are killed in bird attacks. They are the silent killers in the sky.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Always love the weird news segments. And it's weird how they always jive, despite the fact that we never talk about them.
Nope. I'm not going to lie. I was afraid you had taken my story there. I was scrambling trying to find another one.
All right, we are continuing our series of Mount Rushmores for NFL teams. We've done New England. We've done Miami.
Now, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
To me, this felt very easy.
And every time you've said that, you've been wrong so far, which really makes me nervous. I mean, there's a couple that are really easy.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Kelly's really easy.
Yes.
Bruce Smith is really easy.
100%.
Then it gets a little harder to me.
Thurman Thomas is a no-doubter.
Is he, though?
Yes.
Is he, though?
Yes.
Because to me, Marv Levy's a no-doubter.
And I'll agree.
Okay, so you'll agree on that.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to need you to explain to me how you're taking Thurman Thomas over O.J. Simpson. Because that does not make a lot of sense to me.
I just can't do it. Can't put O.J. up there. I just can't. Look,
you've got to be able to separate.
You can,
at least in this.
I don't know that you can, though.
If we had done this list,
creating a monument, and we're going to put a killer's face on it.
Well, we're not acquitted. I have to legally you have to say that. B, I get it.
Okay.
We're not actually making the statue. You do understand that,
no,
right?
But that's the thought. The thought is, if we're building the Mount Rushmore, who you putting up there? We're not putting O.J. Simpson's face up there. It's just not going to happen. Was he the most electrifying running back in the NFL for a 5-year period back in the 70s? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, he had one season, for God's sakes, where he averaged 150 yards a game. That's never been done. He rushed for 2,000 yards in 1973 in a 14-game season. Obviously, the on-the-field contributions say Mount Rushmore. But I ain't doing it.
No. I mean,
I'm not doing it.
Okay, I guess your explanation is accurate. I'm just okay. I'm trying to separate.
You can't. In certain situations, you just can't. And I feel like OJ's one of those. Actually, OJ is the poster child of not go put him on Mount Rushmore.
I get it.
I mean, we have brought up people with checkered past. Hell, we talked about Michael Vick yesterday. But
I mean,
I feel like there's
a drastic difference.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say it, but you said it, and now I'm just gonna say, get mad at Jeremy.
That's fine. You get mad at me. I did a dissertation in college on O.J. Simpson. Trust me, you ain't telling me anything I don't already know.
Call it what it is, okay? Some histories you can kind of slough off and go, yeah, but not that one.
That's the only excuse that I was going to take. So, yeah.
So it's Thurman, right? Because who else you got? You got to have Andre Reed over Thurman Thomas? I'm not.
Andre Reed's much closer than you think.
I'm not saying it's not close. In the end, are you taking Andre Reed over Thurman Thomas? And I don't think
I'm not, no.
And then the question becomes, who else? Who's even on the honorable mention list?
Josh Allen. He's in the honorable mention, but he's not been in the league long enough.
I agree.
One day he will probably be up there because he is signed for the long term.
He'll have all the records. I get it.
And his floor is Jim Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
His floor of a career is Jim Kelly.
And then I got nothing. I'm trying to think of notable Buffalo Bills to have.
You have some really.
I mean, Ralph Wilson.
Ralph Wilson was one I considered.
Ralph Wilson's got to be the 5, right?
No, I would say Andre Reed's the 5.
Okay, maybe he's the 6.
I'd say Ralph Wilson's the 6. Then you get into like Jack Kemp and Steve Tasker.
Tasker's not a bad one.
But there's just not a lot of them that belong. Eric Moulds. Yeah, that's how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Moulds is in the top 10, and I don't even think it's debatable. You could convince me that we start getting into Fred Jackson and Stevie Johnson as honorable mentions.
I hear no lies.
All right, but we've come to general consensus that it's Marv Levy, Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith, and Thurman Thomas. Okay, it was easier than I made it. I had to be remiss if I said
debate.
Innocent until proven guilty. I mean, trust me, look who you're talking to.
Civil court.
We've mentioned this a bunch of times, so I don't think my stance on this is, like I said, did a dissertation on it, so I probably know some things you don't.
Again, I was going to say that civil court ruling. That's the one that we look to and go, that was justice.
At Sports Think ESPN. Now,
disagree with me if you want to.
Now we get to to me, the most interesting one in the AFC East, because it's the one that I think is the hardest.
The New York Jets?
I think the Jets are the hardest.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. I agree with you because I couldn't even come up with 4. So
you say stupid things sometimes that make me angry. I want to fight you sometimes.
It's the Sportsocracy.
But there's a camera and there are witnesses and there's evidence and I don't do crimes.
ESPN Asheville, New York Jets, Mount Rushmore. Coming up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic very busy. 240 westbound eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound, stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, slow east of Brevard Road to Airport Road. 40 westbound, delays in pockets between the Smoky Park Highway and Newfound Road. In Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road delays. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Off.
Off Clean Feel, so I can accessorize with studs and not with mosquitoes. I can wear my classic white crop and flag panel jeans and know that I'm covered with 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. Get your pre-party protection on with Off Clean Feel. SC Johnson.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
She's moving to Georgia.
Jadis Podiatry Clinic's top nurse quit, leaving her business toes up.
We've got 6 procedures and 3 major surgeries in the next 2 days.
She needs a new RN who can think on their feet.
There's no way I can do all these procedures on my own.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
What's up? It's a Target trend alert. New swim has just arrived and it's sunny weather approved.
If you're into bikinis or one pieces, high waists or cutouts, they're the perfect combo of trendy, flattering, and affordable.
That's right. And there are so many cool styles with gorgeous details. These suits have macrame, crochet, wood beads, pretty shells, and more. Totally a luxe for less vibe.
Yes, so dive in and shop this Target trend without the spend.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
Rover's Morning Glory.
It's The Woody Show.
It's Elliot in the Morning.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
All of the best free curated playlists.
It's everything that rocks.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
This is Freddie Prinze Jr. from the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are f***ing
Ah, yes. Now it's time for the Mount Rushmore for the New York Jets.
Jets, Jets.
And,
this is the hardest one we've done so far for me.
The first three are easy. To me. The first three are easy for the New York Jets. And 4, insert player here.
All right, so just make sure we're on the same page.
Okay.
Joe Namath is 1. Darrelle Revis is 2. Curtis Martin is 3.
Bingo.
Okay. That's where it got really difficult for me.
Because how do you choose the 4 in a list of just faceless, nameless,
I want
players?
to punch you. I'm going to punch you directly in the face. I warned you before this segment. There are no less than 3 players on this list. I will punch you on camera if you throw shade at them. I have been really good with the Asheville Police Department. They will look the other way if you say dumb things about Wayne Corbett. He's on the list.
Really?
No doubt. He's one of the greatest slot receivers ever played. Didn't put up crazy numbers. Well, because his quarterbacks were less than ideal. He's not my choice.
Okay. That's
How
good to
many
know.
did you have on your list right here? Because mine goes pretty deep.
I mean, there's
Don Maynard was
like
there.
5. Yeah, Don Maynard is on every list.
He
He
was
retired as the leader, the all-time leader in receiving yards in NFL history when he retired in 1970.
He was the first great receiver in NFL history.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Then you got Gaston Klecko.
Absolutely.
From the New York Sack Exchange.
Mm-hmm.
I considered Wayne Corbett.
Okay.
Had to throw Wesley Walker out there.
Wayne Corbett never would have been on a list.
Wayne Corbett was, I'm looking at a list done by the Jets and he's 8. So,
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And then there's, I would love to have Chad Pennington because I love him.
Mm-hmm. Too much. You love him way too much.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, if there was a list of Jeremy's most overrated players of all time.
I told you, be wary of how you end this. I will budge.
Chad Pennington is number 1.
Chad Pennington was A, West Virginia feller, B, great American, C, great New York Jet. There will be no Chad Pennington shade here. None. Even though he looks kind of like Opie Taylor, and I don't know that we would be like bestest friends, but I loved him as a quarterback.
You're right. There is no shade when you live in the shadow, quote unquote, of Chad Pennington.
Mo Lewis was up there pretty high for me, too. He might be the most disrespected linebacker I've ever seen because he was special. Nick Mangold.
See, that's where I go. I went immediately to offensive linemen. I went to Kevin Mawai. I went to DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Nick Mangold was the number 1, but I refused to put him on the Mount Rushmore because then Jeremy would try to claim that it's him on the Mount Rushmore, and I can't have that. I can't have Jeremy go, I got my face on a cup, and now I'm on Mount Rushmore.
Eric Miller said that the Jets Mount Rushmore should be Joe Namath, Curtis Martin, Darrelle Revis. Jeremy. Boom.
And Hemi Green.
Solves it all. Oh, yeah, don't start that because I'll do that forever. I've already said that Nikola Jokic should trademark Himola Jokic. He should just trademark the phrase him, period, but I don't think you can do that.
I mean, just to me, you can pick one. You can pick one between Gastineau and Klecko.
So I have one it's going to be a little spicy.
Okay.
And for me, I feel like every one of those guys I said are great Jets. Klecko, Gastineau. The problem is I can't differentiate the two. They're both Hall of Famers to me. Gastineau had the sack record for many, many years. But there's one guy that I feel like doesn't get the credit for the best era of the New York Jets. And when I told you this, you really grizzled. It's Bill Parcells. Now, allow me to take you on a little trip down memory lane. Do you remember how bad the Jets were before he took this team over?
I mean, it hasn't changed in 30 years.
Oh, that's not true at all. That's not what you just said is not true in the least.
Bad.
From 1986 to 1997, they won 9 games one time. They won 8 twice. They were below 500 every other year, and there was a 1-15, a 3-13, 2 4-12s. They were the laughingstock of the NFL. First year he comes in, they go 9-7. Second year he comes in, they lose in the AFC title game. And it's not really that. It's that he was the one that drafted so many of these players that changed the franchise. The 4 first-round pick year, Bill Parcells made every one of those picks. Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Chad Pennington, Anthony Becht. He's here too, and he's a West Virginia guy, so I can't throw shade at him. Parcells changed the tenor of the franchise. They'd been to the playoffs one time in 12 years. Parcells shows up, does a lot. He did a lot more as a personnel guy than he did as the coach. And you can call it a cop-out. You can call it whatever you want to. There was no 10-year period where they went to the playoffs more times than that era. As a matter of fact, I'll go one step further. The 10 years directly around the Parcells era, that's more playoff appearances than they've had in the franchise's history outside of that. So for me, the 4 is Bill Parcells.
Okay.
He just changed the tenor of the franchise. And trust me, I love all those other guys. But what you said is true. The first 3 are super obvious. Joe's the 1, Darrell's the 2, Curtis Martin's the 3.
Yep.
Bing, bang, boom. Who brought in Curtis Martin? Bill Parcells. That changed the entire franchise for 15 years. And then and then the further we've gotten away from Bill, the worse they've gotten.
Right.
And for me, I didn't think about Bill really any more than I thought about the other 3. I tried to come up with which ones clearly differentiated themselves. Gastineau's was a short period of time. Klecko was never the best player at his position. Corbett was a slot receiver. Don Maynard was in 1965. I mean, I keep doing this. And for me, it all reverts back to Bill. And this is the same argument I made with the Miami Dolphins. You had one heyday of your franchise. Really, the only pillar of that was Parcells.
Interesting. So he changed the franchise much the way, I don't know, a certain coach, Tony Dungy, changed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right?
Oh, and then John Gruden won your Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, who won yours?
Nobody.
Oh, wait.
Wait. That would be Weeb Eubank, who, trust me, I also considered him, and he deserves a little love here, too.
Right. Who succeeded him? Who succeeded Bill
Al
Parcells?
Groh.
Yeah, if Al Groh had come in and won a Super Bowl with that team, would you have him on the
I would love Al Groh so much more if he had.
You would.
Instead, he left and took the Virginia job, which is the 3rd time that a coach has left the Jets to take a college job.
This is the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. We got Sports Center coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Northeast winds continue tonight and a stray shower in the forecast. Our temperatures down into the mid-50s tonight. Most of the rain shower chances have pushed out of North Carolina over into Tennessee. Mostly sunny Saturday, high 85 degrees. Stray shower Sunday. High temps in the mid-70s. Will stay in the 80s early next week for Monday and Tuesday. Nighttime low temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic very busy. 240 westbound eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound, stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, slow east of Brevard Road to Airport Road. 40 westbound delays in pockets between the Smoky Park Highway and Newfound Road. In Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road delays. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business print big. Now get $15 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends July 1st. Visit staples.com/printbig for details. This is your sign to try Staples, where your prints are perfect guaranteed.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Suns set to land Frank Vogel as their new head coach, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Phoenix offered him the job this morning. The side's in the process of finalizing a 5-year contract. This will be the 4th head coaching job for Vogel after previous stops with the Pacers, Magic, and Lakers, a team he won an NBA title with in 2020. A promise from Miami's Jimmy Butler. Following the loss to Denver, Game 1 NBA Finals, Butler vows to attack the basket more, believes he'll respond to the initial setback and set a better tone in Game 2. ESPN NBA play-by-play announcer Mike Breen.
Butler is the type that he reads what the defense is giving him. So if you're throwing double teams at him, he's not going to force the issue offensively. But there's no question he has to be more aggressive looking for a shot. For them to be such a talented team like Denver, he's got to be aggressive, and that's what you would expect from him in Game 2.
Mike Green on Fitz and Harry. Game 2 is Sunday, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern on ABC. As the Red Sox await the results of pitcher Chris Sale's MRI, manager Alex Cora told reporters today he'll miss at least his next start, and the injured list is a possibility.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. If it's your first time today, welcome to the program. It's your first time ever. Really welcome to the program. And by the way, if you're listening to us on the radio, you can see us live on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. If you're in town listening to us on the terrestrial signal and you go out of the terrestrial signal, guess what? You can pick us up on the iHeartRadio app. We're everywhere you want us to be. Last hour of the program for the week.
One job.
Yeah.
I swear I'm going to get a kill switch put in over here of, hey, my microphone's not on.
You should definitely have your own microphone button.
Boop. And now I don't remember what I was going to say. I do remember what I was going to say. If you're listening on terrestrial radio, then you didn't just get to see me with a big glob of mayonnaise on my face because I mistimed the rejoin and had a bite of sandwich going in to the segment and then saw myself on camera and went, oh. That is not good.
I missed that. Somebody please screenshot that and send it to me. I missed it. Yeah, so clean up over there. And,
I'm good now.
Third hour of the program here on ESPN Asheville. And, there's news in the college football world.
And a good bit of it.
As an SEC fan, go Georgia Bulldogs, 2-time national champions. The SEC.
God, I'm ready for you to be awful. I need one of these quarterbacks to just suck something awful.
I believe we're a long way away from that.
I need one of these quarterbacks to just be awful. And frankly, I don't care which one it is. I need you to be terrible.
Just one of them. Just need one of them to be terrible. The SEC has decided with Oklahoma and Texas coming into the fold in 2024 that for 1 year they will be sticking with the 8-game conference schedule and they're going divisionless. I love this.
Well, I mean, it leads to I'm shocked that you love this.
Why?
Because your schedule is a cupcake factory somehow in the SEC every year. Those days are over. You said before the show, I can't wait to play Alabama.
Absolutely.
Be very wary what you ask for.
I want to see the best games possible. I want to see the best matchups possible. I look at this Georgia schedule for this year, and I go, there's not a single game on there I feel like I need to watch because I feel like I know how that's going to go, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there are 2 competitive games on that schedule. Their non-conference schedule is god-awful. Since they lost Oklahoma, which was scheduled 4 years ago or 5 years ago.
Yeah, they play at culinary school, don't they?
I can't even remember off the top of my head who the hell they're playing. But it's roast
brutal.
beef Tech 3 times. And then you get the SEC
brutal.
East schedule.
UT Martin, Ball State, UAB.
There you go.
And Georgia Tech. There's your non-conference schedule.
Woo!
National champions right there, folks. National champions.
I mean, that's 12-0. You look at that schedule and go, they ain't a game on there that they should lose. Lose. Which one?
At Tennessee. At Tennessee.
Okay. Maybe.
At Tennessee, over a month since your last bye week.
That's the competitive
on
game
Rocky
on the
Top.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If you look at Tennessee's schedule, it's not exactly the most daunting thing you've ever seen either. As Tennessee gets they get a non-conference team that we have heard of. Virginia, Austin Peay, the Roadrunners of UT San Antonio, and UConn.
So, yeah. I want to see
they at least do have to play Alabama,
the best teams
though.
play.
There is a great chance. So Alabama's so bad at quarterback. And I don't. You can give me Tyler Buckner all you want to. I don't see that as a high-level solution.
Haven't seen it, so I don't know.
By the way, fun stat that I just found out yesterday. I believe there were 52 quarterbacks in college football last year that threw 10-plus interceptions or 10-plus touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one that didn't throw an interception. You know who it was?
Who?
Joe Milton.
Ah.
The only one.
I've seen Joe Milton before, though. Although I said the same thing about Hendon Hooker.
I was about to say, we said that about Hendon Hooker. I think we said it about Joe Burrow. We've said that a lot. Then you get them in this little gimmicky offense with, which, hey, I thought Josh Heupel might be the stupidest hire I'd ever seen. Then all of a sudden, you made me look dumb, quick.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Tennessee hasn't taken a step forward. I honestly don't know that they're going to be as good as they were last year.
Why
I don't
wouldn't they
see
be?
how you can be.
Why wouldn't they be?
I mean, you don't have as good of a quarterback, in my opinion. I don't think Joe Milton is better than Hendon Hooker.
It's one of those things of I look at the talent. The talent is comparable. You did it with one. Okay, I mean, I've seen coordinators and coaches that have offenses like this do this on lather, rinse, repeat.
Do you have another receiver that sniffs the ones that you lost in Cedric Tillman and Jalen Hyatt? I don't know,
but we didn't think you had those going into last year.
That's true. It's true. Yeah, I mean, they could surprise me. Sure.
Where are they in the preseason top 25?
14.
Whoa.
I don't know.
I think you're on. You might be doing recreational.
You talking about my
drugs.
top 25? Yeah. 20.
You'd have Tennessee at 20.
I don't know. I hadn't even thought about next college football season yet, honestly.
Well, you should. It's a lot more palatable than. Well, hey, who do the Dodgers play today? Let's talk about that bullpen. They really need another lefty coming out of there.
No, it's summertime. I'm trying to catch up on all my shows.
All your shows?
Yeah. You don't have shows that you shut up. You're the one to tell me you were binge watching Naked and Afraid drunk at 2 a.m. this morning. So don't tell me about catching up on your shows.
I don't know why. I don't know why 12 Domestic Light Dude Jeremy loves that show.
I don't either.
It's naked people, and they're in the woods, and they're eating bugs and killing alligators with sticks.
There's nothing about that that's appealing to me. I saw the first season of Survivor, and when I've had enough of the naked people in the woods that I could stand, Richard Hatch ruined that for me.
Yeah.
I mean, You could put Brad Pitt out there and have him naked, and I'm not interested. Like, I just don't care.
It's funny that every time we talk about television, our chat goes crazy. Like, we should just do a show that's lightly sports, mainly football, and then we talk about food and television.
Absolutely. I think there was a chat going on earlier about the Mount Rushmore of Marvel characters. This is not a bad idea.
And we're going to do a month of we're going to do Mount Rushmore for
Iron
everything.
Man 1, don't even come at me.
Spider-Man's on line 1, and he has a
stop that.
He has a lot
he
to say.
He wishes he was Iron Man.
If it wasn't for Robert Downey Jr., you would not say that.
And
we're going to argue about that, but that'll come at a later date.
Anyhow, we started this out talking about the SEC. So 2024, they're going no divisions, and they're going to an 8-game schedule for 1 year. They're trying to push for a 9-game schedule, but so far there aren't very many teams that are on board with that.
Of course they're not, because you keep scheduling Directional Technical Institute for the Blind. Of course you're not going to walk away from the – and, okay, this is why I wanted to talk about this, because I wanted to go on this tangent, because you SEC people are really starting to get under my skin.
Okay.
You tell me, well, we play the best football in the country. First of all, Big Ten ain't that far behind you. Hate to tell you that. And I know that hurts your little sensibilities, but it's true. The ACC at this point ain't nearly as far behind you as they were, because they're going to have a team in the top 5 of the preseason bowl this year too. And I'm not sure they're not better than everything you have. Just saying.
Maybe.
Florida State, Georgia plays week 1. I got news for you. You ain't going to like how that goes. We have
we don't play Georgia.
No,
or you don't play Georgia.
That's what I'm saying. If they did.
Oh.
You would not like how that goes. That team returns everything. And the second most likely player to win the Heisman. I'm going to keep saying that, because, I've been pretty good at this over the years. It's a real good bet. It's plus 1,400 the last time I saw it.
Jordan Travis.
Yeah, and I might have gotten a lot of it. Like, because I see that plus 2,500 Denver Nuggets NBA champions bet. It's in the offing. Feel like that one's going to be in the old account by the end of next week.
It's hard to win the Heisman Trophy, though, when you're not the best quarterback in your conference.
I'm trying to figure out, and I know you're doing this to irk me again. I don't even know who you could be talking about.
Drake May. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Best college quarterback? I don't agree with you in any way. Best pro prospect? 100%. You also have no receivers coming back, so good luck. I mean, I like Drake May. Don't get me wrong. And you're right. He's a better pro prospect. I don't think he's a better college player.
He may not be. I just like to see your face wrinkle.
I thought you were going to say something stupid to really make me angry. Like you were going to say, Cade Klubnik, go somewhere.
Now do another one.
Yeah.
Now give me another quarterback in the ACC.
Who plays at Georgia Tech now? It's not Jeff Sims anymore because he went to Nebraska.
I mean, I guess Sam Hartman at Notre Dame.
They're not in ACC school.
But that's true. They're not in the ACC officially. So
anyway, where I was headed with this is, to me, I understand why SEC teams are gristling at the 9-game schedule. I feel like you have to do it.
You have to.
There's a reason Greg Sankey is pushing for this so hard.
I feel like you absolutely have to do it, because under the current 8-game format, how that would work is you have one primary rival that you play every year. And so Alabama would have Auburn, and Georgia would have Florida, and Tennessee gets nobody. Maybe Kentucky.
Alabama.
I don't know. No, because Alabama can't have more than one.
Oh yeah, they get Auburn. Do we have to do that?
See, that's where it hooks me with the 9-game schedule, because if you have a 9-game conference schedule, then the structure of that is 3 permanent rivals.
And see, I think you need that.
And then you rotate the rest of the schedule out, 6 different teams every year. And I like how that goes, because
is
guaranteed.
Greg Sankey doing that to ensure he gets what he wants?
Absolutely.
Because one permanent rival is stupid.
Yeah,
that means, all right, so now all of a sudden we don't have Georgia, Tennessee every year? That's dumb. You have officially gotten to dumb time.
I agree. You have to have multiples, because there are so many different rivalries, we need to have, or I feel like we should have.
Also means you don't get Tennessee, Florida every year.
Right. You got to have Alabama, Tennessee. You got to have Alabama and Auburn. And I would not be opposed to making an Alabama, Georgia a permanent rival. I feel like that's one of the underrated
you're being
matchups.
Yeah, you're being beholden to the moment, though. That's a super new rivalry. And you got to realize who you're cutting out doing that.
Who?
For Georgia, I mean, you've got Florida and Tennessee that I don't think can go anywhere.
At Alabama, and we're done. I don't see what I'm saying. Like, because now we have Auburn, and I don't.
Well, I mean,
I don't really
but then you got to take it the other way.
You got the state rivalry. I get the state line rivalry. I get it.
Well, yeah, with Alabama, you would have Auburn. It would be Auburn,
Tennessee.
They're not in the same division. Yeah,
we don't have divisions.
Oh, I mean the existing divisions. It's hard for me to say that Tennessee's a rival when
LSU.
Alabama has smoked them for 15 years, and you smoked Alabama for 15 years before that.
LSU
was the other one I was looking at. See, I don't think Georgia breaks into that.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is more of the arms race in college football. That's why Greg Sankey is saying this.
Mm-hmm.
You got the media right deal done. You're headed to ESPN. You're leaving CBS. You got all those things. When we get into this bigger playoff, getting the extra spots in that is going to be really dependent on your schedule. And I hate to break it to you, but UT Martin and Ball State are not going to do it. Because the Big Ten's already ammoing up for how this is going to go. They're looking at extra schools. So is the Big 12. That's what we're going to talk about in the next segment.
Mm-hmm.
The Big 12's so desperate for anything that they're going down paths that I never thought possible. So I feel like you have to eventually get to the 9-game thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. I get why you're pushing back on it right now. Well, we play the toughest brand of football in all of college football. Okay, Georgia, you got a lot of South Carolinas and Kentuckys on there, and Vanderbilt, right. Missouri.
That was an argument that could be made
in
for
the West.
SEC West teams only.
I've said
that for years,
and now you're not even really there.
Yeah, because you have two programs that are just so far and above everybody else that.
Well, you got tiers. You got LSU and Alabama that tend to be the 1 and 2 every year. You get the Mississippi schools in Auburn and Texas A&M, and then usually Arkansas's right below.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the other 5 schools are all just a mishmash. So it's one of those things I've always gristled at. Of the SEC so much better than everybody else. Are they though? You're really good at the top, but then you turn into a big sludge fest at about 5.
Well, you're still. I mean, there's a lot that goes back to the start of the Nick Saban era. I mean, you can even go back to the LSU years. I mean, because it was far and away the best product in college football. It wasn't close. Every weekend you had premier teams facing off against each other. You had Auburn that was in it every year. You had LSU. You had that was before the resurgence of Alabama with Nick Saban. You had a lot of, you had a lot of really tough teams. Now it's become so top heavy, you can't really say that anymore.
Have you seen the football schedule of the premier games in the SEC? What you're getting on CBS?
No,
it's not great. I mean, yeah, you catch the every so often you get the high end matchup, Alabama LSU. There's a whole bunch of dog babies on there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Georgia, and I can't remember the one that was a television game now. Georgia, Kentucky, or Georgia at Auburn. One of those is the CBS Spotlight game. If you played that game in my backyard, I'd move. So I don't think it's as clear cut. Greg Sankey sees that, and that's why he's pushing to get to eradicate some of these UT Martins.
Absolutely. And with Oklahoma and Texas coming into the league and going to this new schedule, you got to scrub the divisions because you want the best of the best playing each other more than they currently do.
DNA Tooth Podcast in the YouTube comments asked me, Texas A&M might be the only school I haven't heard anything about this offseason. What are they doing? I don't know this definitively, But I think right now they've gone to the law school, and they have handed Jimbo Fisher's contract over and said, find a way to get us out of this. That's not going to cost a gajillion dollars, because Jimbo Fisher is exactly who I told you he was. His signature's in this room, and I still hate him. That says a lot. You won me a national title, and I still think you're the worst coach I've ever seen that gets accolade like that. Offensive guru. Name me the best quarterback he ever produced. I'll wait.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 240 eastbound between Amboy Road and exit 4A. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound light delays between Brevard Road and the French Broad River. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and Newfound Road. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. In Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road, stop and go. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road, slow. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
We've got your head banging, guitar slinging, foot tapping jams. The new Rock 105.1, Asheville's real rock.
Tide and Downy are proud to support and celebrate iHeartRadio's Can't Cancel Pride. With $1.7 million donated to LGBTQ+ charities, Tide and Downy are looking to inspire and celebrate admiration inside and outside the home. Because the key to a great celebration is looking, smelling, and feeling your best. Not just this month, but year-round. Learn more at can'tcancelpride.com and have an amazing Pride Month.
Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. Now you can pick only the perks you want in your phone plan and save on every one, like Disney Bundle and Hotspot. Get exactly what you want, only pay for what you need. Get My Plan at your Verizon store today. $10 per month for each My Plan perk. Additional terms and conditions apply per perk.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls, low prices. Love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
All right, so the SEC making their announcement today about the schedule going forward. Oklahoma and Texas coming in 2024. They're doing the 8-game schedule for a year, and then they'll try to push it to 9 games. They're doing away with the divisions. The Big 12 was also on the hunt.
Yeah, they're going to have to do away with divisions, too, because they may have 30 teams in this conference by the time it's all said and done.
And I ask you, Jeremy, why not? If you're the Big 12, you're staring the abyss in the face of no Oklahoma and no Texas. You lack star power in this conference, at least on the gridiron.
But you added BYU and Cincinnati.
And that's so much fun.
And Houston.
We can be super AAC. Congratulations.
Well, now the talk has been centered on would they accept the basketball-only schools? UConn, Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because you have to be good at something.
Okay, so let me ask that question from the opposite side. What is the intrigue for them to join you? Because I don't see that at all. Gonzaga walks to 28 wins a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good. I can sit up here in the Mountain West and just beat the sin out of Pepperdine twice a year. I'm good. But then I like the Big 12 side of, okay, so you bring basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Is Gonzaga basketball really the financial juggernaut? Let's say you start putting those games on Big Monday. You think anybody's watching Kansas-Gonzaga?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me go a step deeper. You think anybody's watching Gonzaga-Cincinnati?
No, probably not.
Or Gonzaga-Houston? Okay, that one actually might be better.
That one
than I
would
thought.
be.
Until Kelvin Sampson leaves to take an NBA job.
But I feel like that. I mean, is that not proof that this is the path for the Big 12? You're not going to be relevant in football anymore. I mean, you were vaguely relevant before. I mean, we could get Oklahoma into the conference or into the college football playoff, but other than that, you haven't really brought much to the table in recent years. So football is not a concern.
I don't think they're completely irrelevant, though. I mean, they're not the Pac-6.
No, they're not. You're ahead of them because there is good football to be watched.
I mean, you just had to team the national title game. So,
but true. But I feel like going forward, you go Baylor BYU. That could be a fun little game to watch on a special, Friday night.
And I guess this
I don't know.
I guess this is where I have a disconnect with the average sports fan. And all right, so you lost Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma has been very relevant for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lincoln Riley's gone,
mm-hmm.
and Brent Venables is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I could easily, especially now with this move to the SEC, see that brand tanking into the ocean.
I don't think it'll get that far.
I do. Because I don't know who's going to take it. Oklahoma right now, to me, is Nebraska in 1996. Because you made a really stupid decision to go to the SEC. You're a medium-sized fish in this pond. You're not going to like how this looks. You're geographically isolated. It's going to be hard to get recruits there unless you find just a hammer coach. People forget how long Oklahoma went where it's not that they were irrelevant. They just weren't this juggernaut that we think of them now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going into the SEC. So what did you really lose there? I mean, I get that it's a brand and I get that it's a name, but is it an exponentially bigger name than, say, Nebraska? Because I don't think it is.
Oklahoma?
I don't think it's drastically more.
I would say it's drastically more.
And Texas, who's a fringe top 25 team. That was since the mid-2000s. That has not been your representative in high-end bowls.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't care. And I feel like doing this roll over and die of going to the basketball-only model is throwing up a white flag, and I don't get it.
But they're not going to the basketball-only model. They're just willing to accept partial members. And I don't see a problem with that.
I do. I didn't like it when the ACC did it with Notre Dame. I was one of those that was steadfastly saying it's all or nothing. And this is as much for your benefit as it is for mine. Because Notre Dame's not the brand that they once were.
But I don't want. But that's the thing. The teams that they're targeting, the schools that they're targeting.
Who would you rather have right now?
If you have one.
I'm legit curious. Which program would you rather have? And I'm going to take a handful here that have been discussed.
Okay.
Would you rather have Memphis or Gonzaga?
Gonzaga.
I think you're out of your mind.
Really?
Memphis is a step behind them in a basketball program. the football program is at least legitimate. They can win 6 games to get to a bowl game. They're a better football program than Kansas or Texas Tech. So it's if you have a living, breathing football program, you're probably going to be my answer there. UConn. To me, the difference between UConn and Gonzaga is night and day. And UConn's football program is one of the only ones in the country that loses money.
Mm-hmm. I hear what you're saying. But do I want to water down do I want to water down the football side of this even more than it already is? Why not boost basketball, which, you can make money from basketball. It's not even in the stratosphere. It's not a huge earner.
It's not even the stratosphere.
Who makes more money, Memphis football or Gonzaga basketball?
It's Memphis football.
Really?
It's not really all that close.
Really?
It's about double. There's only 6 programs in college basketball that go ahead.
I'm going to.
There's only 6 programs in high-end college basketball that make even really enough to make them matter. And 2 of them are in this state.
Mm-hmm.
And Gonzaga ain't one of them. And they just provide you nothing anywhere else. If you're going that model, you've got to give me a school that, and I'm trying to think of a school that doesn't have football that actually makes money even in the stratosphere. And Gonzaga's about the only one. And their basketball program makes money, but it also costs a lot of money.
Okay, just a quick search here. Brought up the first 2. Okay, so in the fiscal year 2020. Oh, that's bad. That's bad because that's the COVID year.
We can look it up in the break.
Yeah,
I can tell you on when I pulled the Forbes list of top, I think it was the top, it was all of them, where it basically showed budgets and some of them were projections because they're private schools and they don't disclose that.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a non-football program in the top 50.
Okay.
I've got it in my notes here somewhere. I can try to dig it out during the break.
Okay. It would surprise me if the financial benefit were greater from adding Memphis football as opposed to Gonzaga basketball.
And you also got to remember, you get Memphis basketball too.
Yeah.
Which the money and the difference in the money is not that – it's not as much as you think.
Mm-hmm.
I specifically remember this graph of, wow, Kentucky, Duke, Carolina basketball, don't make as much as I thought. And they make about 4 times what anybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just get into this you get a lot of these programs that are about the same. Kansas State and Gonzaga are not that far off in a year like last year where one of them goes to the Sweet 16.
Right. Do I want to be – I'm already going to be the middling Power 5 football conference with BYU and Cincinnati and Houston and all of that. Those programs are fine, but they're not historically big programs. I would try to go all in on basketball. Bring in UConn, bring in Gonzaga. If they're willing to join the conference, then that makes the basketball program at least palatable. Gives me something to watch. I'm not going to tune in for Baylor and Memphis football. I'll damn sure tune in for Baylor Gonzaga twice a year in basketball.
Wow. This actually caught me off guard.
Okay.
Top 5 schools in college basketball by revenue. Who do you think they are?
I would say it's Carolina.
Nope. They are not in the top 5. Nope. This is from 2023. Top revenue earners.
Is Gonzaga one of them?
Nope.
Duke.
Yep. Duke's won $25 million.
Michigan.
Nope. Your top 5 are Duke, Kentucky, TCU, Ohio State, and Arkansas.
TCU?
Apparently them being they were up a lot. They were 20 the year before. But I guess them being somewhat relevant. I got no.
That screams like giant endowment from one person to me.
Probably Jamie Dixon. Hey, Jamie Dixon showed up. Everybody show up to basketball games now. So your top earner in basketball was Duke at 25, almost 26 million.
Okay.
In football, that 26 million, if my
what is it?
Holy, it may take me the commercial break to scroll through this. That $26 million would put you as the 65th most profitable football program. Yeah, I'll take Memphis 1,000 times out of 1,000. It's not even kind of close. I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that. These are the brand newest this year's statistics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about Gonzaga even in the least. I'm good. You can keep your West Coast time zone. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to dilute. You're talking about diluting product? All right. The football program at Colorado State made more than Duke basketball did last year. Let that wrap around your brain and then come back at me with that, oh, I'd love to have Gonzaga. Nope, don't care. Go on, get. Kentucky's football program made more than their basketball program did. That might be the most dumbfounding thing I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Woof. Yeah, I'm good. Out.
If you've lost the battle in football, which you have, Big 12, Pac-12, you've lost. Now you got to be good at something. I don't see any problem with going all in on basketball. Again, adding more AAC teams to the Big 12 is, to me, not going to drive much interest.
There are schools that make way more money in football than I thought they did. Rutgers is in the top 35. I would never. Rutgers is ahead of Florida State in terms of sheer revenue. This is not profit. This is how much money you made.
It's
got to be the TV.
off.
It's got to be the TV deal.
Must be.
Well, I mean, the Big Ten's TV deal is about 3 times what the ACC's is.
Must be.
So, and I will say, I don't find it ironic.
Wait, didn't the Big Ten shell out $40 million per school?
Something like that.
So the revenue at Rutgers was negative $5 million?
No. The revenue number that I'm saying is what the school made. I don't know how they're figuring out this number. But the total revenue at Rutgers, they might have actually lost money outside of that TV deal.
Right.
Because there ain't a number bigger than $40 million down any of these lines.
Because here I want to say the same thing I hear you say all the time. Okay, Rutgers football. The next Rutgers football fan I meet will be the first one in the history of time. I don't think they exist.
Yeah, I've been to New Jersey more than you have. They do exist.
Do they care? Do they care in Piscataway, New Jersey? To a level that would surprise me? I mean, obviously in a college town, you're going to have diehards, but
you get more than you think. Okay. I'll put it that way.
All right,
but it's almost like a cult movie following. The ones that love it, love it. The ones that don't, is there a football match today? Yeah, that's what I thought.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Northeast winds continue tonight and a stray shower in the forecast. Our temperatures down into the mid-50s tonight. Most of the rain shower chances have pushed out of North Carolina over into Tennessee. Mostly sunny Saturday, high 85 degrees. Stray shower Sunday, high temps in the mid-70s. Will stay in the 80s early next week for Monday and Tuesday. Nighttime low temps in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 eastbound between Amboy Road and exit 4A. Future 26 westbound stop and go between Broadway Street to approaching New Stock Road due to an accident. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound delays between Brevard Road and the French Broad River. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and Newfound Road near Fletcher. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Verizon. Ready to take control of your phone plan? Well, then you better take that next turn to a Verizon store. Because my plan from Verizon is the kind of control we all deserve. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. Get my plan at your Verizon store today.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With a family on vacation. Mom, who are these people?
Oh, that's Flo and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie.
Don't they do that in the studio?
Oh, normally.
No.
But we wanted to feature a family who bundled their home and RV and saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out of chips.
Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
What's up? It's a Target trend alert. New swim has just arrived and it's sunny weather approved.
If you're into bikinis or one pieces, high waists or cutouts, they're the perfect combo of trendy, flattering, and affordable.
That's right. And there are so many cool styles with gorgeous details. These suits have macrame, crochet, wood beads, pretty shells, and more. Totally a luxe for less vibe.
Yeah, so dive in and shop this Target trend without the spend.
Grab your shades, your flip-flops, and your free iHeartRadio app for the unofficial start of summer 2023. No matter where you go this summer, your favorite radio station, the music you love, and the best podcasts in the world will be along for the adventure. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
It's that time, ladies and gentlemen, for the most important message of the day here in the Sportsocracy.
Couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less where he ends up?
No, it's not that I can't care less where he ends up. I just don't care if he ends up with the Jets.
Okay.
I mean,
And
I've
that's fair.
heard several teams, and he's apparently looking for a boatload of money.
Which, see, that I thought this whole thing was about winning, but apparently not. I mean, I don't know. The latest report that we have was from Diana Rossini, who said the thing about the OBJ money. DeAndre Hopkins wants what OBJ got from the Baltimore Ravens. And I don't know that I terribly disagree with that. I mean, I feel like if
DeAndre Hopkins is a better receiver than OBJ.
Absolutely. He's earned that kind of money way more than OBJ did.
But he's older.
But he is older. And, I feel like there is a team out there that will give him that money. But you ain't going to win with that team.
No, I mean, and I've heard some weird ones.
The Chiefs
the
aren't.
Houston Texans.
Apparently he wants to go back to Houston.
Why?
Because that's where he can make the money. And now I'm starting to turn. Now I'm starting to be like, oh, okay, so this is really just about the money for you. Which is not, I mean, if I had the ability to go make $15 million this year playing a sport, I absolutely would, and I would not care where I ended up.
I
would
want
just
to
think
win at some point.
See, exactly. If I had been, bringing in my millions for all these years in the NFL, at some point I want to be with a team that can win this thing. I'm not going back to the Houston Texans. I don't care that I have family living in the area. After I win, maybe I can go back for my swan song last couple of years with the Houston Texans and retire as a Texan or whatever, where I started my career. I get it. I don't want to be going there. Just talk about him going to the New England Patriots.
That would make more sense to me.
I don't think
he could win
I don't
there.
think he makes him any more likely of a contender.
Do you know how much money he's made over the course of his career?
How much?
$111 million.
Yeah, that's enough.
I think. I can't. I think it was Doug Gottlieb. I heard say this the other day. Of you get to a certain point, I'm good. What is really the difference between $130 million and $170? You're not going to spend that unless you have somebody that just robs you blind. Or you are really irresponsible with money. You're not going to spend all that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can.
Oh, I'm saying you can. You can spend
you
it in 6 weeks if you wanted to.
Absolutely. I don't know what the path is here for DeAndre Hopkins. I guess I would respect more the move to win than I would the move to earn money.
Well, Eat Sleep Football in our YouTube comments. Didn't DeAndre Hopkins say he wanted a quarterback, a good defense, and a good front office? Yeah, he gets none of those things in Houston.
No.
So basically, if you go for the money and you decide to do that, and the talk around that's gotten pretty loud over the last couple of days, then everything you said was bogus. You wanted out of Arizona, and you made it seem like all these things matter to you. You just wanted out of there. And you wanted a bag somewhere else.
Or he thought, I can make my little checklist, quarterback, defense, all of that, and I can get the bag.
Then his agent needs a serious reality check. Because if you remember the day he got released, I said, you're not catching the bag from any of these teams. Not because they don't have money. You're doing this post-June 1. Good luck. If you get $5 million from a contender right now, you have done really well. This is not like doing this in March. You're on the backside. At this point, you're a luxury, nothing more. So if you want to go, I'm not sure that his best bet's not to go to Cleveland and reunite with Deshaun Watson. Now you made a face there.
I just hadn't really considered them as a possibility.
I'm not sure that they're not the only team left that makes any sense.
I mean, what? They can give him the money that he wants?
They can give him really any form of money. Kansas City and Buffalo would have to reshuffle deck chairs just to pay him the $5 million I was just talking about.
And they do it. They do it in a heartbeat.
But would he accept it?
He wouldn't play for $5 million. They would have to come off of more than that.
They're not coming up with more than that. And now you're getting into, we're hurting ourselves for the long haul. For a receiver that's 31 years old, had 2 non-full seasons in a row, so it seems like injuries are a problem. You had the PD thing Were you doing that to rehab an injury that wasn't getting? So were you ever going to be that guy again?
But here's the thing:
I'm not gonna
does he
mortgage
help
things
me?
for that.
Does he help me win a title? Does he make me better? Does he tip the scale for me? One of those teams that we've been talking about between Kansas City and Buffalo, one of those teams, I don't think it really matters. The other one, yeah, you make a difference.
I'm not 100% sure that he makes that big a difference in either one. I don't think he makes that big a difference in either one.
Really? Okay.
Is he a markedly better receiver right now than Gabriel Davis?
I would.
You want to say yes,
say
but
yes.
the last 2 years would say no.
Okay.
I mean, he was never a burner in the first place. Now you're getting older. You're a physical guy anyway. And how many 31-year-old receivers do you see around the National Football League?
Mm-hmm.
One of them's Adam Thielen, who, A, takes better care of himself than probably anybody in the league.
Right.
B, is at about 40% of the speed he started at. So, and satisfied Brown fans just want me to repeat this. I think the place that makes the most sense is Cleveland. I can go be a legit 2 because I think Amari Cooper is, if not better than you, he's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be a 1A, 1B situation, but you're not the guy. And you've got Elijah Moore, and you got Njoku, and you got that run game. I think that's your best path.
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe if the Kansas City or Buffalo thing was happening, it would have already happened. Because that wouldn't have been much of a negotiation. Neither of those teams are coming off 8-figure deals, not even for a year. And one of them said that. I can't remember which one it was. But no, we're not going to reshuffle the entire franchise to acquiesce an acquisition in the middle of June. That doesn't make any sense. That's what teams like the Arizona Cardinals do. And that's how you wind up in this situation year after year after year. Now, Cleveland is in a better economic situation.
Mm-hmm. And I guess DeAndre is also thinking, what happens if I get hurt? Like, I feel like if I'm DeAndre Hopkins, maybe I feel like I got, what,
2.
max 3 years?
I'd say 2 at the most.
Okay. Pie in the sky, 2 to 3. I'm throwing in 3, just maybe.
You always throw an extra year to everybody.
Of course.
They're grading on a curve, Spencer. Strikes again.
Of course. But what happens if I go to Kansas City, take $5 million, say that's what they made room for me, we don't win, and I get hurt. Now my career's over, and I missed the chance to have that last check. Maybe that's where his mind's at right now. I don't know.
Once you get into 10, you're into. I've made 9 figures. You can kind of lose me on that. I need that last check.
Right.
Unless you have a horrible gambling problem, then talk about what you're doing with all your money. Speaking about doing things with money, this is your last weekend to get the early bird special for Beer City's ultimate fantasy draft weekend contest. The deadline will not be extended again. I could promise you that. Cash App, Venmo, the links on our social medias. We'll put those out all weekend long so you can get double tickets for the contest. That's how we will fill our show league, and one lucky listener and their league mates will get Beer City's ultimate fantasy draft weekend, hosted by the 2 one bald, one mulleted fat guy that you listen to here on the radio.
Did you have to?
Every day? Of course I did.
Did you have to say that?
Of course I did.
Jerk. You're in the sports.
I mean, my hair's down.
We've only worked like 6 hours with each other this week, and I feel like I need another break. So good thing the weekend is here. We will be back with you on Monday right here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go. Future 26 westbound between Broadway Street to Elk Mountain Road due to an accident. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Newfound Road and Elk Mountain Road due to an accident. 26 westbound stop and go between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound stop and go near the French Broad River. 40 westbound delays between the Smoky Park Highway and Newfound Road. New Leicester Highway eastbound at Old County Home Road, an accident. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the